Cataract dates back to the Middle Ages, and the cataract word is developed from the Latin word called cataracta, and also from the Greek word cataractis, meanings that something that falls from the above, such as waterfall or a portcullis. By definition, we can say that cataract is opacification or a clouding of the transparent lens. And this lens opacification may occur by two mechanisms. First is the formation of a opaque lens fibers itself. Instead of a transparent opaque lens fibers are being formed. This may occur due to the abnormal development of the lens. When there is a disturbance which occurs during the birth, the lens opacity is called as congenital cataract. And when the disturbance occurs from infancy to the adolescent, the resultant lens opacity is called as developmental cataract. And the other mechanism through which opacification can occur is opacification of a normally formed transparent lens fibers, which may occur due to degenerative process. Biochemically, the lens fiber proteins get irreversibly denatured and coagulated. As a result, any factor, physical, chemical, or biological, which disturbs the critical intra and extracellular equilibrium of water and electrolytes or deranges the colloid system within the lens tends to bring about lens opacification. And such a type of opacification of a previously clear lens is called as acquired cataract. Coming on to the epidemiology of cataract, according to the World Health Organization, the global burden of blindness is about 0.57%, with more than 82% of all blindness occurring in individual aged 50 years and older. By 2020, it is estimated that 27,817 per million cases above the age of 50 years will have blindness, and out of which cataract accounts for 47.8% of world's preventable blind individuals. The aim under Vision 2020 is to eliminate avoidable blindness due to cataract by the year 2020 by performing cataract extractions with IOL implantations. The emphasis is to be placed on achieving high success rates in terms of restored vision, quality of life outcomes, and affordable and accessible services. Measures to overcome the barriers and increase the use of services. In India, cataract continues to be the single largest cause of blindness. According to the latest national survey in India, that is 1999 to 2001, 62.6% of blindness in 50 plus population of India was found to be cataract related. And during a rapid assessment of avoidable blindness conducted in 2006 and 7, the cataract is reported to be responsible for 72.2% of blindness in 50 plus population. Now we'll see the objectives and targets set by Vision 2020. The objectives are: the target for cataract surgery rate is about 6,000 by the year 2020. And the other objective is to improve the visual outcome of surgery according to the World Health Organization standards. 80% to have a visual acuity of 6 by 18 on Snellen's or more than 6 by 18 after cataract surgery. The IOL surgery should be more than 80% by the year 2005 and for all by the year 2010. And YAG capsulotomy services should be available at all district hospitals by the year 2010. To achieve the objectives and targets, there should be strategic activity planning suggested to clear the backlog of cataract. which should include the primary screening by the community health worker to identify persons with visual impairment, that is, finger counting less than 6 meters in any eye. The second is the careful case selections by the eye surgeons at screening camp and at base level, that is, district hospitals. The third is the cataract extraction with IOL implantation to be done free of cost for bilateral cases and underserved poor population, especially women. The fourth is the reduction in the disparities based on the geographical, socio-economic and the gender biases. Many important case studies were done related to establish the risk factors for the development of age-related cataract. Out of which, the important first study is the age-related eye disease study, that is AREDS report, which suggested the incidence and the risk factors. And the other study is the Beaver Dam eye study, and which gave us the incidence of the nuclear cataract, cortical cataract and posterior subcapsular cataracts. And the third study is the Baltimore eye study, which which suggested the leading cause of blindness in population above 40 years was cataract. The fourth is the longitudinal study of cataract. And the lens opacity classification system 3 was given by the longitudinal study of cataract. And the risk factors for nuclear cataract reported by the LSC group includes the increased age, white race, lower education, gout medication, current smoking, family history of cataract and pre-existing PSC was suggested as the risk factors. According to the mentioned studies, there are well established risk factors for the development of age related cataract, which were reported were first of all was the age. It was more in age group of 50 plus years. The second well established factor is smoking. Third is the exposure to the ultraviolet B radiations, and along with it diabetes. The other risk factors where current understanding is evolving or reports conflicting results are the myopia, nutrition and supplement usage, that is less nutrition supplies, use of the corticosteroids. External corticosteroids are administered through oral or intravenous routes. And the other risk factors, exogenous estrogens. Genetics can play a very important role, and also markers of inflammation. The more the inflammatory process can cause cataract. Coming on to the classification of cataract, first we will see the etiological classification. According to the etiological classification, it is divided into first the congenital and developmental cataract, and second is the acquired cataract. And the congenital and developmental cataracts are further divided into polar cataracts, which I explained later, the congenital nuclear cataract, the lamellar cataract, sutural and axial cataracts, and the generalized cataracts. In the first diagram, you can see a nuclear cataract which is involving the central embryonic cataract. Along with it, there is also sutural cataract seen. The lower image shows a zonular or the lamellar cataract. The zonular or the lamellar cataract causes visually significant cataract. The other non-visually significant cataract which can be seen are the blue dot cataract. These are multiple round opacifications of the lens which are scattered all over the lens, The second one is the sutural cataract, which involves the developmental sutures of the lens. The third one is the coronary cataract, which involves the spoke like structures from the peripheral cortical matter. And the fourth diagram, which you can see, is the total congenital cataract. This is a visually significant cataract which involves the whole of the lens. According to the etiological classification, the second type of cataracts are the acquired cataracts, which are further divided into age related cataract, which are discussed in details in the next slides. The second one is the traumatic cataract. Trauma can occur by the different modes of mechanical trauma, like it can be caused by the closed globe injury. The cataract can be caused by the open globe injury, and cataract can be caused by the intraocular foreign bodies. The mechanism of different type of cataract formed by different injuries. The first one is a concussion cataract, which shows the discrete subepithelial opacities can be seen, or early rosette shaped cataract in the lower picture can be seen. Early rosette cataract and the late rosette cataract, which can occur after 1 to 2 years of the injury. Open globe injuries includes the perforating and the penetrating injury. Such direct injuries to the lens may cause massive perforation of the lens capsule, leading to the release of the free floating lens particles in the anterior chamber, which becomes cataractus. And the second is the perforating injuries of the lens often result in opacification of the cortex at the site of rupture, usually progressing rapidly to complete opacification. A small perforation of a lens capsule may occasionally heal, resulting in a stationary focal cortical cataract. The third type is a complicated cataract, which refers to the opacification of the lens secondary to some other intraocular diseases. For the nutrition, lens depends upon the ocular circulation, that is aqueous humor circulation. If there are inflammatory toxins occurring in the aqueous humor secretion, which can cause the disturbance of the lens biochemistry, which can further lead to cataract. First of all, the inflammatory conditions which can lead to secondary or the complicated cataracts are the uveal inflammations, which causes posterior subcapsular cataract. The second condition which causes complicated cataract is a degenerative condition called as retinitis pigmentosa and other pigmentary retinal dystrophies like the myopic chorioretinal degenerations. The third is the retinal detachment, that is complicated cataract may occur in long standing cases of retinal detachment. Glaucoma can cause primary and secondary complicated cataract. Glaucom fleccens is a term used in for grey white epithelial and anterior cortical lens opacities that occur following an episode of marked elevated IOP, as in case of acute angle closure glaucoma. Fifth cause is the intraocular tumors such as retinoblastomas or the melanomas or the metastatic tumors involving the choroid or anterior segment may give rise to complicated cataracts in later stages. The sixth is the ischemic ocular conditions like the thrombocytis obliterans and anterior segment necrosis can cause posterior subcapsular cataract. The metabolic cataracts occur due to endocrine disturbances and biochemical abnormalities. There are diabetic cataracts, that is, with diabetes cataracts are about two types: true diabetic cataract and True diabetic cataract has the appearance of snowflake cataract or a snowstorm cataract. The other types of metabolic cataracts are the galactosemic cataracts, and with the cataract occur due to hypocalcemia or the tetanic cataract. It can also occur in errors of the copper metabolism, like in Wilson's disease. Electrical and radiational cataracts are a type of a traumatic cataract. The toxic cataracts, out of which corticosteroid or the drug induced cataract causes the posterior subcapsular opacities with the use of topical as well as systemic steroids. It can be induced by the miotics also, and intraocular foreign bodies like copper can cause talcosis, and intraocular foreign body like iron causes siderosis induced cataract. Dermatogenic cataract occurs with myotonic dystrophies and cataract associated with some osseous diseases, and there are some syndromes like dystropica myotonica, Down syndrome, Loeys syndrome and Treacher-Collins syndrome, which are most commonly associated with cataract formation. The first one is the uveitic cataract, which is a type of complicated cataract induced by the inflammatory mediators in the anterior chamber. The second is the electrical cataract, which you can see in the picture, is a stellate shaped peripheral cataract formation can be seen. The third is the Christmas tree cataract, which occurs in patients of myotonic dystrophy, and the fourth one is a corticosteroid or the drug induced cataract, which is a type of posterior subcapsular cataract which can be easily seen on retroillumination mode. Coming on to the morphological classification of cataract, the first one is the capsular cataract. It can occur in the anterior capsule or the posterior capsule. The second is the polar cataract. Polar, it involves the capsule and the superficial part of the cortex in the polar regions only. That is, if it occurs in the anterior polar region, it is called as anterior polar cataract. If it occurs in the posterior polar region, then it is called as posterior polar cataract. The posterior polar cataract can cause a weakened posterior capsule, which can further lead to posterior capsular rent during cataract surgery. The third one is the subcapsular cataract, which involves the superficial part of the cortex, that it can occur in the anterior subcapsular region called as anterior subcapsular cataract. If it occurs in the posterior region, it is called as posterior subcapsular cataract. The fourth one is the cortical cataract, and the fifth one is a nuclear cataract, which involves the nucleus of the crystalline lens. Now we will discuss the age related cataracts. As I mentioned earlier, that age related cataract is a type of acquired cataract, also called as senile cataract, and which is the commonest type of acquired cataract affecting persons of either sex, usually above the age of 50 years. Morphologically, we can divide the age related cataract or the senile cataract into cortical cataract, which is a type of soft cataract. The second is the nuclear cataract, which can be hard, and the third is the posterior subcapsular cataract. The most important risk factor is the age, as it usually occurs after the age of 50 years, and if it occurs before the age of 45 years, it is termed as presenile cataract, and the incidence of cataract increases with age. That is, by the age of 70 years, 90% of the individual develop senile cataract. In some population based studies, the prevalence of senile cataract is shown to be more in females than in males. This, there can be a possible explanation, like the first is the longer lifespan of the woman as compared to man, and the second is the hormonal imbalances due to menopause may be the factor. Hereditary affects the incidence, age of onset and maturation of senile cataract in different families. The fourth risk factor is the ultraviolet irradiations. The UVB light is shown to be causing oxidative damage to the lens. Diet deficient in certain proteins, amino acids, vitamins like the riboflavin, vitamin E, vitamin C and essential elements are blamed for early onset and maturation of senile cataract. If there are acute dehydrational crisis, can also cause onset and maturation of cataract. Smoking is a well established risk factor which causes accumulation of pigmentary molecules and which leads to yellowing. The cyanides in the smoke causes carbamylation and protein denaturation. Smoking is the most avoidable risk factor for cataract. The causes of presenile cataract are the hereditary. The cataractous changes may occur at an early age in successive generations. The second is the diabetes mellitus. Age related cataracts occur early in diabetic. Nuclear cataracts is more common and tends to progress rapidly. Third is the myotonic dystrophy is associated with posterior subcapsular type of presenile cataract. Fourth is atopic dermatitis, which may be associated with the presenile cataracts in 10% of cases. The mechanisms of loss of lens transparency can be increased water content. The normal water content of the lens is about 65%, and with increase in the maturation of cortical cataract, the water content can get up to 78 to 80%. The second is the decrease in the amount of soluble proteins. It can occur due to leakage of the lower molecular weight proteins from the lens into the surrounding tissue, or the conversion of a soluble protein into an insoluble proteins. Third is the decreased synthesis of the lens proteins. Fourth is an increased protein catabolism. And also a progressive decrease in the total amount of free amino acid can also lead to maturation of cataract. The sodium content of the lens is progressively increased and the potassium content of the lens is decreased with maturation of cortical cataract. Now coming on to the role of glutathione and ascorbic acid in cataractogenesis. The lens inherently has a protective mechanisms which prevents against the oxidative damage caused by various superoxide anions, hydrogen peroxide and lipid hydroperoxidases. It has been suggested that there are possible roles of ascorbic acid and glutathione in the scavenging of superoxide radicals in lens. If there is disturbance or a decreased concentration of glutathione ascorbic acid may lead to cataract formation. The following factors have been reported to contribute to decrease in the level of glutathione in cataract lenses. That is, first of all, if there is a decrease in the synthesis of a tripeptide, since reduced glutathione is not permeable and aqueous contains a very little amount of glutathione. Second is the increased permeability of lens membrane to reduce glutathione. And third is the relative deficiency of enzyme glutathione reductase, since the level of glutathione is upon this enzyme, as well as an increase in the dependent disulfide formation with protein sulfides, which can further lead to protein aggregation or denaturation and ultimately cause cataract. Cataract may present with any of the symptoms. The first or the earliest visual disturbance is the glare or the intolerance to the bright light while driving through direct sunlight, or when headlights fall upon the motor vehicle. There can be uniocular diplopia. It is also one of the early symptoms. It is due to irregular refraction of the lens owing to the variable refractive index due to cataractous lens. The third can be colored hollows. So, owing to breakdown of the white light into colored spectrum due to the presence of water droplets in the lens. They can occur black spots in front of the eyes, that these black spots are usually stationary. It can cause image blur, distortion of images or misty visions in early stages of cataract. And the last is the loss of vision. The patient with central opacities have early loss of vision, and these patients can see better when the pupil is dilated due to dim light in the evening. That is also called as day blindness. And in patients with peripheral opacities, the vision loss is delayed and the vision improves with the bright light when the pupil is constricted. On examination, the visual acuity can vary, and which might be in the range of 6/9 on Snellen's to just perception of light. Before the visual acuity gets even affected, there can be a change in the contrast sensitivity, that is the ability of the eye to perceive subtle changes in shading, which may be markedly decreased in patients with cataract, which can be tested with various charts like Erdon grating, Cambridge low contrast grating, Pelly-Robinson charts, functional acuity contrast test and Vizitract chart. On slit lamp examination, we can see the presence of the cataract by oblique illumination examination. It can be detected by distant direct ophthalmoscopy, that is a reddish yellow fundal glow is observed in the absence of any opacity in the media. If there are partial cataractous lens shows black shadow against a red glow in the area of cataract, and the complete cataractous lens does not even have a red glow, that is the pupillary area shows white reflex due to total reflection of light. Slit lamp examination of a cataract is done with a fully dilated pupil, and the grading of the nuclear cataract can be done on slit lamp. The first is a grade 1 cataract, which is a type of soft cataract and which has a color of greyish white. The grade 2 cataract is a soft to medium cataract which has a yellowish appearance on slit lamp. Grade 3 cataract is a medium to hard cataract which has an amber color. Grade 4 is a hard cataract, and these are the brown cataracts. The fifth is a ultra hard cataract, which is also called a black cataract. It is also called as cataracta nigra. Cataract surgery is the only treatment for cataract, And over a period of time, the cataract surgery has evolved from couching to the latest femtosecond laser assisted micro incision cataract surgery. The first is the era of the couching, which date back to 600 BC till the 18th century, in which a fully mature or a hypermature cataract was displaced into the posterior chamber with the help of a sharp needle or a sclerotomy hole. This was first started in 600 BC when the Sushruta from India popularized this practice, and sooner the other countries like the Egypt, the Germans, the Greeks, Romans, medieval Europes all practiced it worldwide till the 18th century. Then came the era of an early extracapsular cataract extraction, which was done up till 1745 to 1877, of which Daniel in 1745 made the first attempt to remove the cataract rather than displacing it inside the eye. He performed a limbal section in the lower half of the eye with a triangular knife and enlarged this incision either with scissors or a blunt ended knife. The corneal flap was lifted and the capsule incised, and cataract was extracted by applying pressure to the eyeball. There were many modifications made by the von Graffius in 1865. He designed a cataract knife